Hello my friends, if we haven't met, my name is Sam. Thank you so much for turning on this video. If you have a spare 30 seconds, maybe you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Looking through the analytics, it seems as though around 60% of people who watch the videos here on the channel are not subscribed. So it would mean a lot to me if you could just press that little subscribe button. Got a quick one for you today. These are the best yoga poses to do when you wake up in the morning. So we obviously spend a lot of time stationary, laying down when we're asleep. We want to move the body when we wake up so that we set ourselves off on the right foot to navigate the world. So we're going to make our way through a variety of poses to help wake up the body in all sorts of different directions, find stability, find length, find strength, so that hopefully we're feeling a little better for the rest of the day. All you need is your yoga mat, or the floor will do just fine. When you're ready, we'll get right into it. So we're going to start today's practice standing, coming to what is my favorite yoga pose, the humble forward fold. So take the feet wide, a little wider than hip width distance, even let the toes turn out a little wider than the heels, and just focus on folding over, seeing if we can find a little bit of a connection between the rib cage and the thighs. So the tighter the legs are, the more you might need to bend the knees, and that is okay. We want to really focus on dropping the head. Common place to hold tension. So if you're still feeling it, you can take the hands to the back of the head. You feel the chin drawing towards the chest slightly. And you just start to move. It's a natural decompression of the spine. Chance for us to get comfortable with 2 feet on the ground. If you sway from side to side, we start to calibrate into the feet. The muscles of the legs start to wake up. We also get a little bit of blood flow and energy down towards the heart and then the head. So it's a change of perspective. Catching the elbows is quite a common variation you could take here. You can start to lift and lower the head, move it from one side to the next. Great space to close your eyes too. Especially if you have just gotten out of bed, maybe you don't want to stare out into the world just yet. You want a chance to look inward for a little bit longer. You want to be able to notice your breath. You want to start to understand how it is that breath is traveling. The legs start to feel a little more awake. You might be able to shuffle them a little closer, the feet that is. Maybe the legs straighten a little more, and you might be able to fold a little bit deeper. See if you can hold this shape for around 1 to 2 minutes. Such an important space to find length through the back body. From Achilles, calves, hamstrings, all the way to glutes, the low back, down towards the head. Chance to let that tension go in the back of the head. And just really feel this act of surrender, of letting go. Take one last breath. And just to counteract, we're going to slowly roll up to stand. Bend the knees a lot first. Keep the head nice and heavy. Just start to roll up. Feel the rounding through the spine. Take your time. When we get to the top, you're going to circle the arms out wide and reach them tall. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to take it straight back down. So just pull the hands through center. Bend the knees if you need to. Hands find the mat. Lift the chest up halfway. Fingertips to the earth or hands press against the shins. Then we're just going to lower the knees down towards the mat. So let the heels rise, lower the knees down. We're going to come towards a toe sit. All 10 of the toes we want to tuck under. Use the fingers if you need to. This is either going to be quite a pleasant place for you to be, or the exact opposite if you're not comfortable in a toe sit. But it is important I've said it 1,000 times before if you've practiced together here on this channel. We spend so much of our lives in shoes, with the feet, or the toes rather, more specifically, in one position. Now, our feet are the things that are connected to the earth for the majority of our life. So we rob them of that connection if we're constantly in shoes. But of course, we need to function in society, so shoes are important. But I urge you, whenever you have the opportunity or the chance to lose the shoes and feel with your feet and your toes, it's super, super important. Chest is proud, shoulders back, head sitting atop the shoulders. From this space, we're just going to start to wake up into the legs a little more. So start simply by flexing your glutes and feeling the tailbone start to draw under a little. From there, the front of the leg starts to extend from the quadriceps all the way up to the psoas, the hip flexors. Maybe you lean back slightly, just see what that feels like. And then we're going to rise like somebody was grabbing the center of your shirt. You rise up. Hips are now on top of the knees, shoulders on top of the hips. As best we can in a moment, we're going to try and keep this space from shoulders to knees in one long line. So that's the glutes firming, the hips pressing forward to try and allow that to happen. And then using this tuck of the toes we've created, we're going to reach the arms out in front of us and just try and lean back slowly. So it'll look a little something like that. We'll do it very subtly at first, and then we'll try and build it up. Then we'll take a breath in. On the exhale, we lean back. So glutes are firm, hips press forwards, and then we rise. Inhale at the top. Exhale, we lean back. You can imagine you're holding 2 ropes. Press back up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, you lean back. You're just exploring your range. Maybe there's a little more space there to lean back. Hands get lower the further you come back. And then we rise. 2 more. Inhale at the top. Exhale, we lean back. Then we rise. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, lean it back. Then we rise. Oh, nice work. Fingertips find the floor. Toes are still tucked. I'm so sorry. We're going to lift the knees off the mat and we're going to get really small as best you can. The heels are going to find the mat. If they're still hovering, that's fine. And we drop the head down. So we move from a big open space to quite a small compressed shape to find the opposite. Now as you lean forwards, as the knees come over the toes, we get more of a lengthening through the back side of the lower leg. So your Achilles tendon getting quite a stretch, the calves getting quite a stretch. It's an important flexion for the knee joint and a lot of dorsiflexion of the ankle, both really important for our mobility. If you're comfortable here, I urge you to stay, but we will be here for a little bit longer. So if you had a yoga block or something you can put under your bum to prop yourself up onto a little seat, that might make this next part a little easier. We're going to do some toe yoga here in a moment. So if you look down towards your feet, we're going to lift the toes up and just spread them a little wider for a moment and then set them back down. And then we're going to try and articulate and move through the toes individually just to see what that feels like. So I want you to look down at your toes. They look pretty good, right? We're going to have a little conversation with them and see if they will work with us. Lift all 10 toes off the mat, boom. And then from here, see if you can let just the pinky toe press down onto the mat. See what that feels like. If that works, you let the 4th toe set down. See what that feels like. If that works, the 3rd toe presses down. Then from there, the 2nd toe presses down. If that works, we set the big toe down. And then we do it in reverse. So you look down, big toe lifts up, 2nd toe lifts up, move slowly, 3rd toe lifts up, nice work. I know this is super challenging for me. 4th toe is going to lift up now, boom, and then pinky toe, wow. Now we do it the opposite direction. We'll take the big toe, set it down, boom, and then the pinky toe, bang. Then the 4th toe, then the 3rd toe, then the 2nd toe. Nice work. Now, set the knees down. Untuck the toes. Oh, thank goodness. Sit the hips back on the heels. Lean back gently to lift the knees off the mat. An opposing stretch. The shins and the front of the ankle now getting a little bit of a length. Hands are there for support. If you don't need them, you let them rest on your thighs. We won't be here for long. Take an inhale. Exhale, we lower. Hands will find the mat. We're going to step back, find a plank pose. This is going to help to just bring a little bit of energy into the feet. You can pedal out when you get there. Feet are hip width distance apart. You can take it back to downward facing dog for just a moment. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Inhale. Then roll back forwards to your plank. Hands are shoulder width apart. Let's take the feet hip width distance apart, or even a little bit wider. Just get comfortable here in the plank. Heels press backwards, chest moves forward. Great place to find stability and strength. We want to start the day strong. So you push away from the floor, shoulder blades draw apart. Exhale, pulls the navel in, thighs are lifting away from the floor, glutes are firm. We've already woken up the legs and the glutes, so they're no trouble here. They're nice and solid. Now from this space, we're going to drop both heels off to the right. Right arm stays where it is. Left arm's going to rise straight up. Now lift the hips. You could stay here if you want to, or let the left arm reach to the front wall of the room. So it's the inside edge of left foot, the outside edge of right foot. We're trying to lift up. So we're shortening the right side of the body. We're lengthening the left side of the body. We're just breathing into that space. Take an inhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Maybe you look under the left armpit. Last one, inhale. And then we return the left hand. Come back through center. Both heels drop off to the left this time. Right arm rises. Hips lift higher. Maybe right arm reaches forwards. And we just stay here. So there's an action through the inner thighs. They're hugging towards each other. The glutes are firm. The hips are lifting. And we breathe into right side of the body. Still pressing the left hand down to try and find a little bit of lift. We'll take 2 more. Breathe in. Last one. Then we'll come back through center. We'll drop the knees down and then send our hips back towards the heels to find a balasana, or child's pose. So imagine the hips, we're trying to meet the heels. As the arms reach forwards, the head rests down. Chance for you to get a little closer towards yourself. Feel the pressing action of the hands to send the hips back a little more. As we start to rise, we'll take it down on to our bottom. So let the bottom set down, take the legs out in front of you, and just bend up the knees. Have your feet rested down, about hip width distance apart. Now we're going to lift up here in a moment. I'm going to give you a few different options with the hands. For a less intense stretch, you're going to have your fingers pointing out to either side. Even less intense than that, fingers point the back of the room. If you want more of a deeper stretch on the wrists, on the arms, on the shoulders, you have the fingers pointing towards your feet. Now we're going to roll the shoulders back here, little bend in the elbows to find that, and then press through hands and feet to lift the hips off the mat. Just keep your chin in towards your chest. Try and find the belly button just as high as the knees and the shoulders. Feel that stretch through the front of the bicep, the front of the shoulders. If you need to find length through the neck, we look up. So you still keep the muscles of the neck working. Crown of the head points to the back of the room. Knees point to the front of the room. We just breathe. We're broadening through the collarbones. So shoulder blades plugged together. We press to lift the hips. We take an inhale. Last breath in. And then we gently lower down. Nice work. We're going to take it down to a twist to finish off. Lower down onto the back. Let your hips shuffle to the right-hand side of the mat and cross your right thigh all the way over the left. No space between the two. Want to tuck under the left hip as we let the knees fall to the left-hand side of the room. Lots of space as you spread the shoulder blades apart. And let the belly get really soft here. Breathing slowly, really letting the spine relax, the belly relax. And coming back through center. Take your time and do the same on the opposite side. So hips will shuffle to the left. You cross the left thigh all the way over the right, tuck under the right hip as we let the knees fall to the right hand side. Again, spreading the arms out wide. Taking your time to let everything soften. You come back through center. Just bring the knees in towards the chest, give them a little squeeze. Lift the head, lift off the mat with as little momentum as possible. We'll just lift up towards the seat. And so we're going to finish today's movement practice with a little bit of breath, just to start the day off with an awareness of body and an awareness of breath. Find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. You can do this laying down also. If you have a block or a bolster you want to put under the hips just to elevate your hips a little so you're sitting up a little more proud. Yeah. This breath pattern we're going to move through is called box breathing. Very, very simple. We cut the breath into 4 pieces. There's an inhale, a hold at the top, an exhale, and a hold at the bottom. Now these holds at top and bottom we refer to as kumbhaka, or retention. The inward, the inhale retention is called antara kumbhaka, and the exhale retention baya kumbhaka. The most spacious parts of the breath, in my opinion, the most important. That's where you're really allowed to, or you really can allow yourself to quieten down and really work to understand and just feel what's happening when you're in that space. So we cut the breath into 4 pieces. Each part's going to be a count of 4 to begin with. If you progress and it feels okay for you, your 4 count could be a 5 count, 6 count, 7 count, whatever. I want you to get super comfortable. I'm going to cue you through a couple of rounds, and then you just start to move through yourself. If the counting is a little hard to follow, you can let the back of the hands rest on the knees, and you can use your fingers. So for example, on the 1 count, you can let thumb and index finger touch each other. 2 count, middle finger and thumb. 3rd count, ring finger and thumb. 4 count, pinky finger and thumb. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's one example. If you feel fine counting in the head, you can do that. I quite like to gently chat my top and bottom teeth together, because that's something that doesn't necessarily make a physical change outside, but it's something that I can focus on inward. You can do either of these, you can do none of these. Enough talk. Whatever air you have in your lungs right now, just gently part the lips, release it. Sit up tall, close the eyes. We inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold the top. 3, 2, 1. Let it out. 2, 3, 4. Hold the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Continue. invite you to take 2 more full rounds by yourself. Remember your count, maybe faster, maybe slower, it doesn't matter, it's yours. Just a chance for you to focus your mind. Focus your breath. And allow yourself to understand a little more what's going on inside. To signify the end of your second round, bring the palms together. Just take a full breath in. Hold the top, the Antara Kumbhaka, the inward breath retention, most spacious part of the breath. There's so much happening and nothing at the same time. Can you breathe in a little more? Then sigh it out. Gentle bow of the head, thumbs pressed between the eyes. Thank yourself for carving out this time to start the day. I thank you for using the first part of your morning, using the first part of your day, your initial energy, to do something for yourself, to help you better navigate your own body, your own mind, your own breath, and the world. You ready to start the day? Peace.